There it is.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is me again. Been a minute. I'm joined today by Doomslayer. He's just going to be in comms, just chatting along, probably pointing out all the things I'm doing wrong. You know, one of them guys. Let's say I do.
Your typical keyboard warrior. What's up?
Yeah, but not keyboard. He's going to be vocal. Easier to point out everything I'm doing wrong.
Yeah, just go ahead and get started so I can start backseat driving.
Don't you mean flying? Hey.
Same difference.
So the idea behind this stream is just to test out a couple of features from Microsoft Flight Simulator. As you can see at the top, there's like a progress bar on what I'm going to test out. And I also want to test out the quality of the stream for when we do flights, because Microsoft Flight Simulator is quite demanding on any computer. Someone's taxiing now with no nameplate. That might be AI. I should have gone into the single player.
Yeah, maybe, but oh well.
So what you're seeing here is one of my favourite bush planes, which is the Kit Fox Stage 2 STI. We've had many hours of fun in this plane. Doing stuff that will probably get our licenses revoked if I ever had one. So let's go in and do everything wrong. Just an FYI, I don't do anything by procedures, I just get the plane going. I wonder what the reasoning for using the fuel pumps is, because it still starts up with or without them.
Probably priming the engine during a cold start.
Oh, we're in Fort Ventura, so it's not going to be cold here.
No, but even if the ambient air temperature is warm, it still could be technically considered a cold start, depending on what the current oil temperature is. Like in the 182, for example, we have to prime the engine pretty much every time we start it up first thing in the day, like first time during the day, even if the temperature outside is like, you know, in the upper 20s Celsius or, you know, mid to high 80s Fahrenheit.
So, for those of you who don't know us, I am an avid gamer. I like Flight Sim. I've been flying since Microsoft Flight Simulator 95, I believe.
And you still don't know what you're doing half the time.
Shut up, you. This is coming from a pilot who likes to crash and nosedive most of his landings.
Okay, but to be fair, everyone does.
Well, you got to crash at least once.
Yeah.
How many planes have you actually wrecked in the real world?
I actually did mess up the tail strike guard on the back of a Cessna 162 Skycatcher back when I was first learning how to land. Those airplanes are very temperamental because they're so light, and the tail nearly hit the runway as we were coming in because I struck the tail strike guard.
Oops.
And you're currently taxiing on the edge of the taxiway.
I don't care.
Starting early with the criticism, my man.
Yeah, you won't be you if you weren't you. Screw it. Oh, God, that's a lot of headwind. As you can see, I just...
Harrison Ford.
I was just about to say that. Does he has a cub though, doesn't he?
It's not a Cub. I don't remember what it is actually. Let me look it up.
Oh, for the simulator, by the way, we're getting 3 variants of the PC-12 coming. We're getting the RV8 and the RV10. And there's a few other planes in that list that I saw.
Cool. PC-12 will be fun. The RV8, I think, is like the 4-seat version of the entire RV series, because the 6, the 10, and I think the 12 are all 2-seat. I know at least one of them is a 4-seater. Maybe it's the 10 that's the 4-seater. I don't remember.
Isn't it the 10 we've already got, or is it the 14?
No, we have the RV14 and we have the RV7.
Huh. Oh, the reason why me and Doom like this plane is because you can do this.
Hold up, I'm not even looking what.
Oh, just pitching up and climbing at an absurd rate.
Oh yeah, I don't. I'd be very surprised if the Kit Fox could actually do that.
I actually looked into the base engine files. The stage 2 is just pure fun build. It's not real to the real thing. He enlarged the cylinder bores, increased the turbo. Put it this way, if the turbo was true to its stats, it was sticking out the engine cover. It'll look like a big Garrett turbo sticking out the hood. And also the throttle multiplier is up by 2, and so is the engine performance. So far, it seems quite stable, even with me streaming. Let me just check my frames.
Okay, so the plane that Harrison Ford landed on the taxiway, I believe, was his de Havilland Canada DHC-2 Beaver, built in 1955.
Oh, we've got that for the sim, by the way.
Oh yeah, the Beaver that just came out, right?
Yeah, I think I might get it. Don't know yet. Get a Harrison Ford livery and land on every taxiway known to man.
Mm-hmm. But he also owns a Ryan Aeronautical ST-3KR, which is a very random name, built in 1942. And, oh, a biplane, a Waco taper wing. That's cool.
I'm surprised he's allowed his pilot's license back, to be honest. He caused a
I,
lot of upset landing on the taxiway. It's not the first time he's done it as well, is it? He crashed another plane as well.
he had it, if I remember correctly, the first one was an engine failure immediately after takeoff, and it was a forced landing in a golf course just at the end of the runway. That wasn't his fault. But the landing on a taxiway, yeah, I don't remember exactly what action the FAA took against him. I don't remember if he had his certificate suspended or if it were revoked and he had to reapply. Um, I think he's still flying though, so it's possible it was just suspended for a certain period of time.
So this particular tail dragger is my number one tail dragger at the moment. Number 2 is the PC6 Porter, and then the Cubs third. When it comes to GA though, I'm always going to be a Cessna guy. The 182 is my go-to.
Now, if we only had a little more fidelity in the only 182 or Paywar 182 that we have.
Well, there's no one else developing it, which is what I don't get. It's one of the most popular planes on the planet, alongside the 172.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Pipers are out. But saying that though, Just Flight have got a habit of giving us a random surprise now and again. So we never know, they might just throw us a curveball.
It's possible. And A2A is now working in Microsoft Flight Simulator as well as Airfoil Labs. Um, Airfoil Labs made a very high fidelity 172 for X-Plane, so it's possible they might do a 182. And then we do know that A2A has made the 182 in the past, so it's possible that we'll see it in the near future, but it'll probably take a while.
I'm pulling an upset doom maneuver.
What is an upset doom maneuver?
I'm pitching down really hard to stress the airframe, and I'm about to full throttle all the way to Lanzarote.
All right.
I'm just waiting for you
So,
to list all the damages that's going to cause to the engine.
well, it's more the airframe they have to worry about. You might over rev the propeller. I know that the Kit Fox is full FADEC. I don't even know if it's fixed pitch or adjustable pitch, but if it's adjustable pitch, you might also blow the governor for the propeller. But no, mainly it's just the excessive amount of drag creating a lot of stress on the airframe that it wasn't designed to be able to handle.
Tell you what, I was really surprised. When I was looking at that walk around of the 2022 182, I know it weren't the turbo version, but you would expect by now they would have included some sort of FADEC system.
Yeah, probably. There were probably some obstacles in the way for that. Maybe some incompatibilities that just wouldn't have been worth trying to find a workaround. I don't know because we do know that the 172 that Cessna made for being able to use diesel, I think it was, had at least some form of FADEC that controlled the mixture. So it's possible, maybe that they couldn't do the same with the 182 because they were working on a diesel version of the 182 and even ceased production of the original or latest model of the normal non-diesel 182T because they were so confident in the production of the diesel variant, but that they just did a complete 180 a few years ago, and now they went back to making 182s like they know how.
The thing is, I love about the 182 is that it doesn't excel in anything. You know, like some planes have got like top speed, some of planes have got like max carry loads and stuff like that. The 182 is kind of like a Swiss Army plane. It's a jack of all trades. So another reason why I like it.
Yep,
And
I was about to say that.
and it can be retrofitted for any use, i.e., Bosch stall capabilities with the I can't remember what it's called. That's Summit Claw, the one that I sent you the other day. But the one it's really rare that I don't see many of is the floats.
Um, well, you'd have to go to an actual seaplane base to see them regularly, obviously, but uh, like just narrowing it down to the four-seaters in terms of like the seaplanes, I would say the 182 is probably more popular than a lot of other aircraft just because it does have that extra, um, you know, power that can help to offset the additional drag of having floats on the aircraft. That's why it's more popular than, say, a 172, which, without the floats, only flies at about 100, maybe to 105 knots.
Well, if you needed more seats, you just get the 208 Caravan.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I was kind of just trying to narrow it down to the four-seat category. Because, yeah, if you did want more seats, you could obviously just go with a Caravan or a Kodiak on floats.
Yeah, let's not go down the Kodiak route.
I still think your reasoning for not liking the Kodiak is kind of dumb.
It looks bloated. It looks
It
like
looks almost exactly the same as the 208.
the 208 looks sleek. It aged well. It looks like the Kodiak's a chubby baby. It's still got baby fat all over it. No, just no.
Dude, I don't think I know a single pilot in the aviation community who rates airplanes in the way that you do.
Listen, everyone's got their preferences. I just think that the Kodiak's not there with the 208. The 208 I like more than the Kodiak. It's slightly longer. It doesn't have that chubby look, and it doesn't stand as tall as the Kodiak. Have you seen how high that thing stands?
I haven't really paid any attention to the vertical height of either aircraft.
Plus, I don't know if the Sims not well. I don't know if the Sims done it any justice, but it feels underpowered over the 208. I did a short field takeoff the other day. Well, I say short field. Do you know, like I do with the bush planes, full flaps, full throttle, get out of there maneuver.
Yeah, even though it shouldn't be full flaps, but yeah.
Well, I did that with the 208, took off without an issue, and pretty short runway as well. Tried to do the same thing with the Kodiak. It struggled and almost went straight into a stall. Now, I've seen videos on the Kodiak, and it shouldn't do that. The plane
That's
is physically designed to do stall maneuvers. It was to compete with the 208.
mm-hmm. But the other thing you gotta think is, well, I know what you're talking about. So when you try to do the stall takeoff in the Kodiak, and you said it nearly stalls, does the left wing dip?
Yeah, it does have quite a bit of left wing tendencies. It's just wants to. It's like someone's grabbing the left wing and then pulling it back as you're taking off.
Yeah, that has to do with left turn tendencies that are most prominent at full power and flying really slow. And I just think that's due to the Kodiak having them more pronounced than the Caravan, at least as they are represented in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I don't think that the Kodiak has a real issue with stall performance in the sim. I just think next time you try it, use a lot more right rudder. Like as soon as you lift the nose wheel off of the ground and you no longer have to maintain directional control along the center line, add in a lot more right rudder and try to pay attention to the little black ball that's in the turn coordinator. Make sure that stays centered so you stay coordinated, and see if you have any issues with stalling then.
Well, once I touch down, I'll load into the Kodiak and I'll show you what I mean.
No, I know what you mean. I
Because
had that issue too when we first started flying it.
there's a couple of issues sometimes. It doesn't matter how much right rudder you put on, the plane will just go, nope, not doing it today, can't be bothered flying, and just decides to crash, takes the day off.
The other thing I noticed with trying to take off in the Kodiak is that the nose lifts off the ground really early, and if you're not familiar with the performance of the aircraft, you might feel like that means that the airplane is ready to fly when it's not. It's possible that the takeoff roll is, the rotation is being performed too early at too slow of an airspeed, and we're lifting off at too slow of an airspeed. I don't remember exactly what airspeed to look for. I think it was something along the lines of like 90 knots indicated on like one notch of flaps. So that's the other thing. Make sure you don't lift off the ground until around 90 knots. And obviously don't raise the flaps too soon, or else you'll lose all that lift and then you will stall.
Speaking of performances, Milviz PC6 Porter with the G1000.
Sure.
They've not done a Coronado and DRM locked their files, which means I can go and mess about with the engine config. So what I could possibly do, because it's already got tandem wheels, is it's sort of like virtually doing an engine swap. I've seen someone working on a stall variant of the PC6 for competitions with high power and a bigger turbo. I was thinking of copying them specs and putting it into that PC6 port and then doing a livery for it.
Huh. You would also have to, it's not just the difference in the power plant that's going to make the aircraft better at STOL capabilities, but I'm sure there are also changes to the airframe itself, like a changing of the chord in the wing to improve the coefficient of lift. So you're going to have to probably mess around with the figures along those lines as well, not just with the engine.
Well, if I'm going to go down that route, I'm going to have to use the freeware version with the old steam gauges, just because with it being a freeware version and you're releasing it for region like A2A, if you make any modifications, you can upload them onto flightsim.to. You won't be able to do that with Milvus, because I'm pretty sure if you start messing about with their files and uploading them, there's some sort of copyright infringement bullshit that I don't want to get involved with.
I don't know. The internet, when it comes to protecting software, international law, um, I don't know how strict it is. I'm not a lawyer, obviously. I've only taken like one business law class, but I don't think, as long as you're not seeking financial compensation, I don't think they can make a copyright claim because there are already mods available on FlightSim.to for aircraft that are payware, other than liveries, of course, like the VR um, prop-friendly mod um, available for the Just Flight PA-28 lineup, um, and I think there are a couple of mods for the Carenado aircraft on FlightSim.to as well.
I'm probably going to have to read through the Yulia or the terms and conditions because I don't want to be breaking any sort of what's the other intellectual something, I can't remember.
Intellectual property rights, yeah.
That's the one. I don't want to be breaking any of them either.
I understand. Initially, though, even if you were to violate the user license agreement by creating a separate file that modifies the product that others can download, I think at most they would do at first is just ask you to remove it, cease and desist. They probably wouldn't immediately try to seek legal action, but that's dependent on the company and what they decide to do. So, yeah, I guess if you don't want to risk it, that's understandable.
I'm getting a lot of headwind here, so what I'm going to have to do is probably land with no flaps.
All right.
Because I'm
From
struggling
which
to.
direction is
Oh,
it?
from.
Right to left?
Oh no, from here it's straight on headwind. Always is.
Oh, then you should be able to use flaps, no problem. The only reason you have to worry about strong winds when it comes to landing is if it's gusting or if it's a crosswind, which could lift one of your wings up and cause you to, either flip or you lose control and go off of the runway like the Draco did. But if it's straight down the runway, you don't have to worry about anything like that.
Just trying to bleed off some speed. That's why I went a bit low. I don't think the pappies work properly at this airport.
They hardly work for a lot of airports, from my perspective or my experience.
I usually follow the ILS glide slope if it has any, or try and land on them big white blocks. I forgot the name of them.
Yep, you're correct. Yeah, 1,000 footers. If you aim for the 500 footers, which are the smaller white blocks before that, then your touchdown point should be the 1,000 footers. So you aim at the 500 footers, and then just as they disappear, bring the throttle back. Yeah, still carrying a lot of airspeed, so you're going to land a little long, but that's okay.
0 flat landing.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I'm not going to slam on the brakes because they're a bit temperamental with this plane.
As long as you put that tail wheel down and use maximum elevator up, you should be able to use some brakes. I was
That
able to.
tail's taking a while to touch down.
Pull it down, or, pitch up. It'll go down.
Yeah, there's too much wind here. I'm trying to watch my language. Oh, what's going on here?
What?
The plane's wanting to lift off the ground at very low speed.
I guess the winds really are strong.
I'm sort
So,
of dreading this left turn.
okay, when you turn to the left, deflect the ailerons to the right. Well, you don't have ailerons.
I think Matt's terminology for these are flaperons, whatever they're called.
That is one term where a certain device can double as both an aileron and a flap, but I don't know if that's the technical term for the Kit Fox, because it doesn't have flaps or ailerons that are separate. It just has the one device that acts as both, and the Kit Fox could very well use completely different terminology for them.
I keep forgetting this thing can taxi under its own power. I really need to get rid of that plane. That's probably
Which
one
one?
of the worst purchases, that blue one there.
Oh, yeah, a tractor. Soul just commented, "You can do it, nosedive that plane."
Yeah, unfortunately, so it's a test stream, so comments are turned off at the moment.
No, they're not. He just commented on YouTube.
That's what I mean. On the YouTube streams I normally do, I have a little chat box. So when he inputs something, it comes up on the bottom right corner of the video.
Oh, okay.
But I've turned that off temporarily,
Mm-hmm.
just because it's a test stream. I don't really want it. Turn the wigwags off. That shouldn't be there. Cut the fuel. Da, 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 da. I know that was wrong.
I have no idea how you're supposed to shut the engine off in the Kit Fox, actually, because I'm used to just having to cut the mixture, but it doesn't have mixture.
I was told it was the Alt F4 button.
Sure.
Okay, just to finish the video off, what I'm going to do is just jump in another plane. I'm not going to go back to the main menu. I have no idea which liver is which, because it's got that many. It's got cargo pods. Oh, tundra tires. Here we go. Skydiving, safari. Let's do the factory. This is usually when the plane yeets 100 foot forward, about 2 light years a second. That's why my feet are already on the brakes. Just give it a week to wake up.
Yeah.
No. So it's going to start already running. I can go with that.
You know what might actually help with your stall takeoff? Trim the nose down just a tad.
Hey, you locked the door. Excuse me. Can you just get out?
Oh, yeah, right.
How,
Yeah, you have to. Okay, I could have sworn you could remove. I don't remember having the avatar of one of the pilots in the right seat when I flew the Kodiak. Thought you could disable it somehow.
Fine, considering you're going to stay there, I'm going to scare the shit out of you. I'm not familiar with this plane, so I'm going to assume it's already in takeoff config. Flaps are down. mixture and prop is full.
On turboprops, I'm pretty sure the mixture is replaced with a condition lever.
Okay, smart ass, shut up. That's one thing I don't get. My rudder pedals are straight and true, yet one seems offset. That's annoying.
Huh.
That's really messing with my OCD. See, that's slight left. Ooh, even the brakes are wrong. Oh, hang on, that's because they... Okay.
Alright.
Oh, and we're rolling.
That's good.
Okay, can you just... Thank you.
There you go.
Right, so I'm going to do a stall takeoff in this. Oh my god, who's had diarrhea all over my Kodiak?
What?
Someone spread diarrhea all over my Kodiak.
Okay.
God, it's windy here. And I'm going to take off on a tailwind. How much runway have I got that way? Quite a bit, actually. Let's do a headwind. So what stage of flaps am I already in? Not full.
You don't want full.
No, but I'm going to try and do a stall takeoff. God, can you imagine the TBM having fixed gear and Tundra wheels? Or TBM as a tail dragger. That would be
Caravan with
weird.
retractable gear.
Oh god.
Actually, it would look better than a 172 or 182 RG, in my opinion.
It depends. Remember that yellow and red Canadian fireplane?
Yeah, I
Where
think that was a Twin Otter.
where it's got the wheels that come out from the side of the fuselage and then down?
That
That
is
would
the
look...
Twin Otter, I'm pretty sure.
No, Twin Otter is fixed gear.
It is?
Yeah?
Oh, shows what I know. Never mind.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is coming from an actual pilot and a plane enthusiast.
That doesn't mean I know everything. Shut up. Stop holding me up to such a high standard.
I love giving you shit.
Yeah, just take off in your plane before you stall.
No, I'm trying to do a stall. See what I did there? Oh, see what I mean? And I'm doing hard over on the rudder and it's still trying to want to flip.
Yeah, push that nose down.
Oh, I'm hard right over. Jesus. Can I save it? Yeah. That was horrible. Oh, stop your
Yeah,
windshield.
it's pretty temperamental.
Oh, look at this wind. It's actually pushing the plane over to the left.
Yeah, that's what wind does.
Don't be a smart ass.
And what was I supposed to say to that?
I'm trying to actually get the wind information up without crashing. You know, just pause for a second. I don't normally like doing that. It's been a while since I've used this. I can't remember how to do it. There it is. 22 knots. See, now if I did the exact same thing in a 208, it'll handle it perfectly. In fact, it does more of a
And
stall takeoff than this does.
And again, I think that's just the representation of the airplane in the sim. Like you said, the actual Kodiak in the real world doesn't have that issue.
I've seen how this thing lands, and you can't even mimic that in this. You can literally start the reverser just before you touch down. I hope that's AI. I think that's AI, but I'm pretty sure I turned my AI off.
No, you have AI on. You can tell if the nameplate starts with like the three-letter ICAO of the operator, and then followed by numbers for the flight number. The airplane that just landed was Iberia because it was IBV something.
Sorry, Jet, I'm about to cut you off.
You know, someone did this to me in real life a couple of weeks ago. I was on final, and someone was in the downwind, and they cut their downwind short, turned to base, and were flying right towards us. Tower yelled at them.
Did I just force the AI to do a go around?
Yep.
Sweet.
Yep, they react to your airplanes.
Not in P3D, they didn't. They just did what they wanted.
No, I'm pretty sure they were issued go-arounds when you took the runway without clearance. Ow.
That was quite a hard landing.
You don't need to tell me. Luckily, you got those Tundra tires.
Yep. Alright, now let's jump into 208. Should we take the ass elbows one or the FedEx?
I would go with FedEx.
No. This has got the improvement mod actually that's fixed a lot of issues that it had.
Oh, cool.
It's just been updated as well. It's one of the planes that Mickey Soft should have fixed. Right, so let me just see if this is all set right. Where's my flap indicator? It's there. Wants to stay there. I'm going to do the exact same thing as I just did. Hard on the brakes, full throttle. It's already wanting to go. And it's airborne.
Well, now it's airborne. There must be a delay in the video feed, I guess.
There is.
Yeah.
Look at its pitch angle. It's absolutely brilliant. You see why I prefer this plane over the Kodiak?
Well, yeah. It handles a lot better in the sim. It's just the Kodiak is a lot more complex. There's more fidelity to it.
At this point, I'm more into sort of realistic feel than the way that it looks.
Yeah, I get it.
But you see how well this thing took off? That's what I like with bush planes, or planes that's got bush capabilities. This hasn't exactly got Tundra wheels, and I have put a request out for it. I've even asked.
Is there a version of it with floats now?
Someone's working on it. Will be out very soon. Someone in the Got Grovel community was talking about it.
Sweet.
And I've asked the Got Grovel community to work on a Tail Dragger 172.
Well, that's just the Cessna 170. It's an entirely different indication for an airplane.
I know, but it's still quite cool. I've got the 170 with the Tail Dragger. It's like I took all the checklists and just threw them through the prop.
According to the laws of physics, that prop would probably throw the checklist back in your face, but...
And if I stood in front of it and threw it,
Sure.
but I'm pretty sure that would damage and offset the balance. Okay, I'm coming way too quick and way too high.
I refrained from saying anything that time because I knew you were going to call me out on it.
Oh, don't hang, don't hang.
There you go.
That's why I prefer that over the Kodiak. Now that I've visually shown you what I meant, you know why I prefer this.
I mean, from the beginning, I didn't deny that there was more difficulty in flying the Kodiak.
Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this test stream. Hopefully soon enough a few of us will be joined together and doing some bush flights or maybe some long hauls. And I can stream them as well. We do get up to some weird shenanigans. If you want to join in, the link to our Discord is in the description. But for now, from myself, I shall see you in the next stream.